This is the beginning of a new day.
God has given us this day to use as we will.
We can waste it or use it for good.
What we do today is important.
We exchange the day of our lives for it.
We want to be good, not bad.
Gain, not loss. Success, not failure. In order we never regret the price we paid for it.
This is the beginning of a new day.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Coaches Show. I'm Khalil Stewart, joined by head coach Eddie Robinson Jr. and coach again. This is second straight win. Campus is buzzing. Things are exciting around the football program. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. And we still have a lot of hard work to go. You know, I'm going to have my same stoic answer, but at the same time, I like the way the guys are progressing. Love the fact that we had the student section and the fans were out for the first home game. It just felt good after being on the road for 2 weeks. And so I guess the last home game was Turkey Day Classic last year. So for us, it's been a couple months. So it was great to be out there just to hear the band, the Marching Hornets and everybody out there just having a good time. And of course, you know, our job, as I always say, we're part of the entertainment. So we got to send everybody home to the tailgate happy.
And Miles College is, like we say, it's not an easy game. Like, people look at it as their Division II school, but we both know that they are a very capable team that can present challenges. Talk about your mindset as a coach going into games like this.
I think it's the familiarity aspect of it. You know, by them being right there in Birmingham, they know Alabama State. We know them. We play every year, so it's a familiarity of it. So I think those guys, rightfully so. Coach Gould did a great job of having them convinced that they can come down here and play and win, and they come down here and expect to win. So for us, you know, we have to approach this game like any other SWAC competition game. We have to go out there, play well, execute, not have the turnovers, those type of things. So I love the energy that we had early on. The offense came out smoking and kind of cooled down a little bit, so we have to correct that for the second half. But overall, it was a good, solid effort by the whole team.
And Coach, it was just announced that Andrew Body was named the SWAC Offensive Player of the Week. I'm not going to say Coach because that's school up the hill. We're not going to go with them. But he was announced the SWAC Offensive Player of the Week. Talk about what he's brought to his team and, you know, his performance this past week.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to distribute the ball. A couple of guys, Jalen Jones and Dylan DeJet, I mean, those guys are finding the end zone. I think for him, he's just making the right decision. So I tell him and I tell the team, consistently good equals great. So just go out there and put a consistent performance. So he's out there, you know, one play at a time, and I think he's getting better, getting more familiar with his role, and he's trusting the people around him. So now he's more of a point guard where I can pass it, and I know that those guys can make a play. If I can run it, I'll have to. But he's definitely making the right decisions. And the kid has always been a leader on and off the field, so you love that part about him, especially from that quarterback position.
Right. Well, folks, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
Alabama State University, the place where history is made. With over 60 accredited degree programs and 18 intercollegiate athletic programs, we've focused on student success for more than 150 years. Our rich legacy is built by the history makers of today, shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Alabama State University, where your future begins and history continues to be made.
Folks, welcome back. We are joined by head coach Eddie Robinson Jr. And Coach, I want to get more into the game. It really felt like your defense in that first half really bought into that violent play. It was a lot of hard hits. I think they caused a fumble, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah, we played really well on defense. I think early on, just giving up 3 points in the first half, you know, our motto was to try to go into the game and have a shutout, as it should be for every game. And so the last 2 weeks, we've been playing at a really high level, cutting down on the mental mistakes, the pre-snap mistakes, but you still see guys running around all the way from the beginning to the end. So that's what we love to see. I can teach you where to play. I can tell you what to do. I can't teach toughness. So if you're going to go out there and be tough, physical, and violent, we'll find something for you to do. So I just like the way the guys are playing, a lot of energy. I didn't get the turnovers that we wanted, but we did get some big sacks and was able to hold the team to 9 points, which is always good.
And it really felt like you gave a lot of players on defense a lot of opportunity. What was that the message going this week? Because obviously we got SWAC play coming up, so those guys are going to have to be ready because at any given moment we know somebody can get injured, anything can happen. So those guys have to be ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And I told them in the meeting today, hey, you've played 3 games, so that's 25% of a college football season. We're into the second quarter.
Right.
So you're just at that point where you're not a freshman anymore. So you have to go out there and perform. You know, Pat Smith, Zamari Hall, those guys, Dylan, another kid that played a little bit. So we expect those guys to compete. You know, even though they're young, they have to get used to, hey, can I get my 10 or 15 or 20 plays in the game? Can I execute special teams at a high level? So we're expecting those guys to go out there and compete. And a lot of them took advantage of the opportunities. And once you play well, and the trust factor builds, it usually starts on special teams. Then you will start getting more defensive snaps.
And one of the questions you were asked in the post-game press conference was this the best Bama State team that you ever coached? Now, I'm not going to ask you that, but I am going to ask you, is this receiving core one of your most talented ones that you've ever had?
Absolutely. I mean, these guys have just been getting better year after year. So from their freshman year in 23, and so most of them got redshirted, Ja, and all those guys, Asa Greg. And so now you see Jalen Jones, just the comfortability, just having the confidence to go out there and compete, and now being playmakers. So the talent was always there. But as we know, kind of like I said in the press conference, when you bake that bread, you have to let it get nice and brown on the top before you just pull it out. And so sometimes it takes a little while. So we always want, as coaches and fans, we want things to happen instantly. But it takes time to learn how to be a productive college football player. So now you see those guys are playing with a lot of confidence.
And you also mentioned in the post-game press conference the fact that last year a lot of these guys were blocking, right? Because we were only throwing the ball like maybe 10 to 12 times a game. We only threw it 16 Saturday. But, you talk about Jalen Jones getting up the sideline. Those things don't happen without your receivers buying into making those big blocks. Ja Harrell, too.
Yeah, I mean, and Dylan DeJetta, he's the guy that transferred in and had just really bought into the concept of receivers. When you see big plays at any level, Little League all the way up to the NFL, when you see big plays down the field, it's usually because the receivers are making that one last block. So instead of going for 20 or 30 yards, now you're going 40, 50, 60 yards and scoring a touchdown. So they do a great job of blocking for each other, just committing to the cause. And so that's how you're able to see those big plays and those long runs down the field. It's because the receivers are blocking on the edge. And from a quarterback standpoint, it gives you the confidence that I don't always have to throw the ball 40, 50 yards. I can take the underneath route and trust that my receivers can make a play and they're going to block for each other.
And talk a little bit about Jalen Jones. Obviously, you talked about his story. It took him a little time to develop. But what is his ceiling?
Well, I mean, I think the sky's the limit. I think from a confidence standpoint, we just talking to him in the spring, and he's one of those guys his first year, just talking to some of the defensive coaches, like, man, that Jalen, that JJ, but he never really seems like he's running fast. So in practice, I was like, well, he's not that fast. He's not that fast. And then when I watched him, like one of those times, like freshman year, sophomore year, I'm like, man, this kid is pretty fast. And so now, just his ability to start and stop and just the confidence that he plays with. So it's just beautiful to watch a guy like that. But, he was a all-state point guard at Ramsey High School. They won the state championship, so he's a leader. So he knows how to lead a team to that next level. And so it's just fun watching him develop and just getting a little bit better every day.
And did you give him a rant after hopping doing the jump? Is what everybody's calling it?
Well, first of all, there were no fans standing behind the wall, so you look at it, he almost looked over himself. I think he has to do some recon before he starts jumping.
Josh tried to jump over too, he didn't make it.
Right, he didn't. So it was. I mean, it's one of those things. Me as a player, I never had a problem when the offense celebrated. Back when T.O. used to do the popcorn and all that stuff, to me as a defensive player, I'm like, I'm about to knock you in the head and not let you get into the end zone. So that's how I look at it. But we understand from a sportsmanship standpoint, we definitely talked about it because you're hurting the team. But from the little kid in me, like loving it as a fan, is like it was beautiful to see. But we'll make sure we correct that. Getting the touchdown, give it back to the official. He can come on the sideline and dance and everything else. But I mean, it's fun to see those guys out there playing with excitement and passion and pushing for each other. You see one of them score a touchdown, everybody's there celebrating. So it's just a matter of having that type of family atmosphere where when one person does well, we all do well.
Next time, just tell them come to the sideline and celebrate with Peter Rabbit.
There you go. Peter has something for him.
Yes, sir. Well, folks, we'll be right back after the commercial break.
Alabama State University, the place where history is made. With over 60 accredited degree programs and 18 intercollegiate athletic programs, we've focused on student success for more than 150 years. Our rich legacy is built by the history makers of today, shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Alabama State University, where your future begins and history continues to be made.
This edition of the Coaches Show, we are first joined by the safety. You played your first home game this week. Yes, how are you feeling?
Man, I just took it all in this past weekend, just respecting the crowd, the fans, the teammates. It was a good environment, but it was the last one, so I took it all in and enjoyed the moment.
And you got the win, most importantly.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's the key factor. And I know that Miles, y'all beat him the last 2 years, but that one that y'all lost still kind of sting, I'm sure, a little
definitely.
bit.
So, practice, we got to prepare like it's a regular week. It's not taking no team lightly. So, we just went into the week preparing like a regular week and just dominated. But we still got stuff to clean up on.
Right. And Miles is one of those teams that they're Division II, but you can't take them lightly because any given moment they can get you.
Yeah, and they fight hard too though. Every play they still gave they all, so we know we can't let up. And you see one play they went and scored, we let up a few plays, but they're a team that's gonna fight back.
And one of the things I want to talk about is I feel like last year people didn't realize how talented last year's defense was, and they kind of took it for granted in that moment because they're seeing this year and they're like, it may not have the names, but the talent is still there. It's just younger.
Yeah.
Talk about the difference because you were on last year's defense. You were on the defense the year before that. Talk about the defensive transition you've seen in this last 3 years.
Well, the last 3 years, I feel like the last 2 seasons, the past previous seasons, we had a lot of chemistry. Guys came in together, we played together. So we already knew what each other could do. So now it's like we have way more talent this year, but we have guys just playing our talent. We getting each other together, getting the plays and stuff like that. So you can see the little flash of the defense coming together and being able to dominate like the previous year. So we getting there soon. And
we talked to Patrick Davis last weekend. He even admitted he was a little scared after that UAB game because it was like we'd never seen y'all give that many points. But I mean that was a big game right there.
Yeah.
You played a very talented offense. But the last 2 weeks, 7 points, 9 points. What clicked over these last few weeks for y'all?
Well, we understand now that we have to play together. We have to play with all 11 on the field, not just be selfish out there trying to make every play. And once we do that and communicate throughout the play, pre-snap and post-snap, everything be all easy for us. So we emphasizing pre-snap communication, post-snap communication.
And one of the things that's different this year than any of the years in the past, you got the number one offense in the SWAC. The number one offense maybe in FCS currently right now.
Yes, sir.
And they are putting up, I think they're averaging about 37 right now?
Yeah, 30, 37, yeah.
How does that make you feel as a defensive player knowing like, hey, all I got to do is come out here and play my game and we're going to get 50 points?
Man, me personally, I feel like being that we have an offense that can put up 30 points a game, defense, we feel like we can give our shutouts. So I feel like we really could dominate everybody we face personally. So I feel like every game could be 30-0, 40-0 to me. But, they on other teams on scholarship too. They got good ball players, so things happen like that. But I feel like we really could dominate everybody.
And when you have a defense that's locked in, because you do have some players returning back from last year, yourself included, but your offensive chemistry, like you get to see that offense every single day in practice. And I'm sure they don't take it easy on y'all. They give y'all a hard time. But I'm sure last year when you saw the offense going through its struggles, you knew these guys could do what they're doing right now.
Yeah. So basically, coming into this season, I knew that the receivers, the total offense, everybody on offense was gonna have that chip on their shoulder where like everybody doubted them. Mm-hmm. So I knew they were gonna come into this season playing like that. So that was like from spring, summer, like you could just see it coming to that point. Mm-hmm. And it's showing now. Everybody on notice now.
And talk about some of the new guys on this defense that have come about that you may be mentoring, like young guys, because y'all got a lot of young players playing on defense. Talk about some of those guys.
So we got Zamari Hall. He a safety in my room, and he's like way ahead of his age right now. So like I'll be just talking to him, give him a few points, just like give him some of my knowledge so he could be able to play faster when he get to my age and stuff like that. And even now, and we have a young freshman Pat at DN. He make a few mistakes, but he still make plays. And once you coach him up and get him going, get his confidence going, the mistakes gonna start fading away. Mm-hmm. And then we got Corey Lewis, Jalil, all them older guys. They just ready to buy into the program and make things happen like that. So we have a lot of guys coming around, gelling in, and ready to make the standard.
2 questions before I get you out of here. Talk about how much Andrew Body has changed this program, because now people are recognizing y'all as an offensive team. Like we already knew what the defensive side was. Like that was the standard for Bama State as the Black Swarm defense. Talk about how it is now. Like y'all not getting the attention.
Yeah. So basically right now I feel like okay, everybody looking at the offense, but that made the defense have an extra chip on their shoulder. Like man, we got to make more plays because we want to be in the highlight videos. Because we like usually it'd be straight defense, but now it's a lot of offense. So we like. Now we got to make this play. We got to make this play. So he motivated everybody in every aspect to do better, and that's just the approach he got into the room. So like he on everybody, leaders and all. He a leader, you a leader. He on you too. Mm-hmm. The coach, like that's the type of energy he brings to the room.
One more. I said one more. I'll get you 2 more. When you saw Jalen Jones hop into the crowd and do the gump jump, is what everybody calling it. What was your reaction? Did Coach Robinson get on after that?
Yeah, I think he got on him after that, but I was like, man, I want to do it first. So he got me on that one.
Yeah. All right. So one more question. Obviously, you got a bye week this week, and then you go into FAMU. FAMU is a team that y'all haven't beaten since they've joined the SWAC. What is the mindset for you going in that game?
Well, really, I'm not taking this week as a bye week. It's like another week, 2 weeks to prepare for this week. So we're not taking this week mentally thinking, okay, we got a bye week. We're finna attack this week, so we'll be ready for next week to play. So we have to earn that week and earn a win. And that's how I'm taking this week, and then have my guys rally around me so we all on the same page.
You get a chance to go back home too and pull up the upset, because that's Tallahassee's not an easy place to win.
Nah, that's why we got to make it happen. We got to do it big.
Right. Absolutely. You got any final messages for the nation?
Man, Som is one. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, folks, you heard it here first. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Hey, turn it off.
No, you can leave it on. You good. You good.
All right.
Coach lacking, man. Y'all had meetings though before this, didn't y'all?
Yeah, we had just ended up meeting too, so that's why I was able to come over.
Yeah. Okay.
We finna go into practice now.
Yeah. Are y'all practicing team?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
This was a great.
He's gonna walk in.
This is the beginning of a new day. God has given us this day to use as we will.
We can waste it or use it for good.
What we do today is important.
We exchanged the day of our lives for it.
We want to be good, not bad.
Gain, not loss. Success, not failure. In order we never regret the price we paid for it.
This is the beginning of a new day.
Folks, welcome back. We're about to wrap up here. Coach, it's a bye week, but it's not really a bye week. You're about to start SWAC play. What is the mentality going into a matchup with FAMU, who has given us problems over the past couple of years, but, we got to beat them?
Yeah, so, for us to get where we want to go, they're the next team on the schedule. So it's definitely, the biggest game of the year. And the way this works is every time you have a big game, if you do well, the next one's going to be bigger. So I think us going down to Tallahassee is just a great opportunity. That's how I look at it. 2 years ago, we went down there, played well, played all the way down to the end, just couldn't get it done. So I think this team is confident, but we know at the same time the FAMU's going to play. Coach Cozy will have those guys ready to play. So we're expecting that we're going to get their very best effort. Everybody's going to raise their level of play, get into SWAC competition. You have 12 teams that all feel like that they have a chance to win the SWAC conference. So that's the beauty of the first game of the year. It's also the beauty of the first SWAC game of the year, because everybody's out there 0-0, and so it's going to be it's going to be a long, tough season as far as the SWAC with these next 8 games. But we're up for the task, and it all starts down there in Tallahassee, so it's a great place to get it going. We'll go down there confident, but at the same time, we know that if we don't play well, that the outcome won't be what we want. So we have to prepare really hard these next 2 weeks to get ready for that game down there in Tallahassee.
Absolutely, Coach. Took my first, second, and third question. So, folks, we'll wrap it up right here. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you after the bye week against FAMU.
This is the beginning of a new day. God has given us this day to use as we will.
We can waste it or use it for good.
What we do today is important.
We exchanged the day of our lives for it.
We want to be good, not bad.
Gain, not loss. Success, not failure. In order we never regret the price we paid for it.
This is the beginning of a new day.
Touchdown, Bama State.